At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Happy Tuesday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger, enjoying my cup of coffee with you here this morning on Coffee with Krueger. Boy, what an active day. I mean, we say active, but basically it was just kind of a wet day, especially for the valley, just raining all day long as expected. There was some flooding. We saw coastal flooding along the coast from the king tides. We saw, because of the rain, some flooding, especially down south into Butte County and parts of Glenn County, and still some of those flooded roads. We're going to see those waters recede today, but we still have a chance for a few sprinkles here and there. Some of the 3-day totals, very impressive. Some of the bullseyes we had talked about during the forecast were to the east of Chico, eastern Butte County, southern Humboldt, and even into parts of Del Norte. Now, expecting a little bit more rain to the north of the Redding area. However, that being said, the radar has been down, so we're not going to get an accurate representation of that. Some of you have been asking how we're doing so far for the season. Well, there you have it. With the outlier of Crescent City, everyone is above normal for the season. We'll certainly take that. Could use that rain, and it looks like we've got more rain on the way, at least for the next 24 hours or so, as we go into tomorrow. Let's put it that way. All right, take a look at the chain requirements out there. We're starting to see things get a little bit better as far as those road conditions are concerned. Highway 89 and Highway 36 East. Taking a look at some of the cameras. Yeah, I mean, it's just wet on I-5. Even Snowman Summit, looks like you're seeing some light snow up there this morning. Yesterday at this time, those roads were covered on Highway 99, and that was down to 2,000 feet. That was a little unexpected as far as the snow levels are concerned. Lassen Park entrance, you can see some fog in some areas here. Bogard Ranger Station looks a little slick out there right now. We take you to Highway 36. There's for down your Summit. There's a look at around the Chester area. Looks like Chester got some decent snow out of this as well. I haven't been receiving any reports as far as who's been seeing snow, although I did get a report in Bernie of Bernie seeing some of that snow, and it did make its way out towards places like, you can see right there, see the four corners of the center of your screen? That's just northeast of Bernie. And you can see the snow on the side of the road there, Hatchet Mountain, Cedar Pass, as expected, seeing some of that out there as well. And taking a look at Highway 299 West, as we would expect, we are looking at snow-free roads there as well. By the way, if you are new to Weather NorCal, be sure to check out the free Weather NorCal app. It's free. I always say this. Check it out. If you don't like it, take it off your phone. But I think you're going to like it because it's a local forecast generated by me, who has been here for over 25 years. No one else in this area who gives public weather information has this much forecasting experience. Bottom line in this area. So there you go. Also, you can watch on your smart TV. Roku, just search for Weather NorCal. Now, Fire TV has been acting a little glitchy lately. So if you have a Fire TV, just go to your YouTube or any YouTube app on any device on your big screen TV. You can search for Weather NorCal, watch the 24-hour streaming channel, which you can watch this, the Coffee with Krueger live. Just put it on at 6:30 in the morning and you're watching it live. Or you can also, on demand, watch the latest video forecast. Also, from the free Weather NorCal app, you can share your photos. Now, I want to see your photos. Do you see snow? Are you seeing flooding? Let me see them. And then we can share that with the community. All right, here's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your Tuesday, January 6th. Temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 40s in the valley. We've got those 30s for the higher elevations and looks like low to mid 40s for the coast. Taking a look at out the door this morning, basically overcast. It's also going to be drizzly out there, but we don't have any organized storm systems over us right now. That's shifted to the south, but off to the north over the Gulf of Alaska. We've got more activity that's heading our way, but it won't be here until tomorrow. Take a look at Futurecast, and this is our HRRR forecast model, keeping us under the overcast skies. Drizzly, especially in the morning. I do expect most likely drier conditions, and some of us may even see some clearing. But then by tonight, I got that next round of showers possibly moving in. Latest coming in from Mount Shasta Ski Park, I can only give the data that I've got, folks. 34 inches. I think there's probably more than that. I know they got new snow, but we don't have any reports of that. It's groomed, and there is new snow, no chains, but the highway ski park most likely dealing with some very slick spots. Not much more snow on top of what we've seen. In fact, the snow that's on Mount Shasta Ski Park pretty much right now better last for a while, because we're going to go into a drying trend after Wednesday. You got that 30% chance for rain today and tomorrow. We're not going to see a lot of rain in the valley. Most of it will be on the coast. And then after that, we dry things out, and we've got quite a long stretch of drier weather. Temperatures low to mid 50s right now for today, that is, in the valley. We've got 40s and even some 50s for some of the higher elevations, and low 50s for the coast. Tonight, low to mid 40s for the valley, 30s for the higher elevations, and low 40s for the coast. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for the valley. So what I've got here, and it looks pretty ominous for today, it's basically going to be mostly cloudy. What you're seeing there, those raindrops falling from the clouds, that's going to be drizzle, especially in the morning, but we don't have any organized storms over us right now. It's tomorrow that you'll see maybe a chance for some scattered showers, and then after that, it dries out. Okay, then we've got the coast, inland, and Trinity County. Snow levels probably around 3,000 feet for Trinity County. However, in Siskiyou County, especially western Siskiyou County, they're actually maybe down to about 2,500 feet. But that's going to be mainly western Siskiyou County. And then after that, we dry things out for Thursday through the weekend. Taking a look at some of the cameras out there, how about a dark image coming in from Lake Oroville? We'll just go ahead and take you to the next one. Lake Oroville, North Forebay. You can see the overcast skies that we have out there and still the wet roads. Keep in mind, especially on Highway 99 and other areas in Butte County, there are flooded roads really across the area. And so just be aware of that on your morning commute, especially when it's dark. Sometimes it's hard to see those puddles. It's hard to see where there's standing water. So just take it easy out there this morning because there are going to be some flooded roadways. The rain we saw yesterday was just that steady rain. And as expected, we did see some of that flooding as a result. Looking at Sutter Buttes, you can kind of look over the city there, city lights there in the valley. There's a look at Crescent City out there this morning. You got the overcast skies and maybe some drizzle. Bald Hill West, it looks like we're just kind of socked in with the fog there. Can't really see much, really. And then we take you out to Soda Ridge. All right, same story here. We're having a hard time with some of those low clouds kind of sticking around. And look at that in Fort Jones. This is Scott Valley, looking down in Scott Valley, socked in with that fog from many of those mountain valleys. Should see some of that clear out, though. This is what it looks like out at Lassen Park. You can't really see much because the snow is still blowing around, but they saw a lot of snow up there. Again, I don't have any official reports, but yeah, definitely a lot of snow. All right, that's a look at your quick cast, right? We're going to kind of brush through the forecast here because I've got somewhere I've got to be here after the show. But on top of that, we don't have any special segments to go through. So let's just get you right to it, shall we? We'll kind of check in with some of you, though, this morning. I don't want to forget those of you that are checking in. We've got good morning from Jay. Good morning to you. And it looks like Cindy is saying, yes, yes, do it. I love it. Very dependable. I think she's talking about the app. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. And by the way, like Cindy, how she's recommending it to everybody, I'm sure she's out in public and telling your friends and family about it. Do the same for me, right? If you got the app and you like it, tell everybody you know about it. And that way more people can enjoy the local forecast on their app. Jackie Dixon saying, good morning from Trinidad. Good morning to you. Good morning from me from Reading. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Coffee with Krueger would not be possible without our sponsor, and that is Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, we got, Debbie Castro. Yes, from what I understand, the kids, and I was saying, kids going back to school. No, it was a day that the faculty had to go into school. I know my wife had to go back to work. But yeah, the kids are back in school. All right, kiddos, time to get your noses back in those books and getting back to work here. All right, let's take a look at our weather headlines here. A break in the weather today. One more week system for Wednesday. Then we're done for a while. In fact, a dry and mild pattern here in the long range. Could be not only through the middle of the month, I think maybe even a little bit longer than that. We'll see. What do you say we talk about all of that in our Deeper Dive forecast, which is sponsored by Shasta Hearing Aids.
Frank, come help with the dishes.
What?
The dishes!
I heard it the first time. I just got back from Shasta Hearing Aids, but she doesn't know it yet. What?
Forget it.
All right, thanks to Shasta Hearing Aids for sponsoring the Deeper Dive. Let's get you right into it. Temperatures mid to upper 40s in the valley. We've got those 30s for the higher. It's cold. It's cold in the higher elevations without a doubt there. You've got those low to mid 40s right now for you along the coast. The radar, showed some of the rain. The system itself is moving to the south. So as a result, we're drying things out. However, we still have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and that's why we're going to see some of the patchy fog this morning. We're going to see the clouds and even some of that drizzle. This right here, all this is just kind of moving in this direction. So eventually we got another disturbance that'll be pushing through, but really not until tomorrow. Today, again, what we're seeing here, and there may be some breaks in the clouds, I think, for some of us, but it's going to be kind of mostly cloudy, and some of you, some drizzle, especially for the first half of the day. And then there's that first little round. Now, these are little clipper systems passing through. So the one tomorrow morning will bring rain for the coast, and then maybe some snow, even into western Siskiyou County. But then it doesn't do much for the valley, does it? Now, we may see a sprinkle or a light shower tomorrow morning for the valley, and then a stronger system comes in tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. This is where we can see better chances for snow for some of these higher elevations. And, it could be slightly significant, but for the most part, not major impacts, although Scott Mountain Pass may see some more snow. But, look at the valley. We're just not seeing much. But later in the afternoon, there may be a passing shower. And then by Wednesday night, Thursday morning, this is when we can just kind of brush our hands off and say we are done with the rain for a while, because this will continue for Friday into Saturday, Sunday, and this is a pattern that's going to continue into next week. Now, I was talking about that snow coming in. There actually is a winter weather advisory for tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. Now, we can see up to 6 inches possible in western Siskiyou County above 2,500 feet. Now, I'm not surprised by that. You remember yesterday, especially to the north, there was snow at about 2,000 feet around the Collier Tunnel, for example, right? There was some snow there. So with this system coming through, we could see some of that again around Collier Tunnel. So be prepared for that, and there will be most likely even some chain requirements possibly on Highway 3. Because again, we get down to about 2,500 feet, you can see some of that snow. All right, let's take a look at that snow and what it looks like as we take you through. So nothing significant. You got a lot of light blues in here. That's a trace to a couple of inches of snow. But where you're kind of seeing a little bit of a higher amounts of it is off to the west here, which is why we have that winter weather advisory here for tomorrow. Now, again, we talk about this drier and warmer trend moving in. That's what impacted us yesterday. That's moving out. Another weak system clipping to our northeast, and then high pressure. That is what is settling in, my friends, as we take you into the weekend and through next week. That ridge of high pressure is going to be the dominant feature. Drier conditions, warmer than normal conditions. In fact, 10 degrees above normal for the valley by the time we do get into, say, around especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. It's going to be gradual, still cool for the rest of this week and even into the weekend, but then eventually after that, we are going to be looking at those temperatures warming up a bit. And by the way, we're looking at that potential to see the return of that Tule fog, especially by Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. Those wave heights, they've dropped. That's good. However, they are expected to increase going into your Wednesday. We may start to see some more small craft advisories or hazardous seas warnings. But until then, just that chance for drizzle out there. Northwest winds at about 5 knots. All right, so here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. We're going to be looking at Trinity County with temperatures mid to upper 40s there. Bottom line, across the board, here's what we've got. Today is going to be mostly cloudy skies. I think some of us, anywhere you are, valley, mountains, coast, at times you may see some clearing throughout the day today. And then this morning, we're going to be dealing with some drizzle, I think, in some areas here for pretty much everyone also seeing that chance as well. But then by tonight into tomorrow morning, places along the coast may see some showers and even some snow flurries for some of the higher elevations. And then later in the afternoon, later in the evening tomorrow, places like the eastern mountains may see a little bit of activity as well. Then by Thursday, everyone, the entire Northern California region, looking at drier and warmer conditions. In fact, we take a look at that 7-day forecast for Chico, and there you have it. You've got that chance tomorrow. Again, it's just mainly drizzle that we're seeing, especially this morning, and then mostly dry, I think, for the valley. but there may be a passing sprinkle tomorrow morning, and then maybe another passing shower tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, but not much activity here. Now, you can see as we go into your Thursday and Friday, yeah, we're drying things out, and we're warming up too. I do expect to see some low 60s by the time we get into Monday of next week. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be quite a change from what we've been dealing with here. And I don't, usually when we go into these longer stretches of dry weather, people get, they get upset, they get concerned that we're not going to have enough water. But we saw earlier, we're above normal for the season. The lakes are healthy as can be. We're in great shape. So I think it's okay for us to enjoy this longer stretch, especially with all the rain that we have seen. We've got Curtis Brown checking in this morning, and he is saying a good, oh, that was Debbie Castro. I need to send it. Here we go. Good morning. Coffee's brewing as of last night. Measured 1.14 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. And my guess it was a bit more than that when we were looking at those 3-day totals. So thank you, Curtis, for checking in this morning and giving us your updates on your weather information. That's what I love about this. We got these weather watchers out. They can report live information, and you can get that information live right here on Coffee with Krueger. So tell your friends not only about the app, but tell them about the morning show. If people are getting up and ready for the day, what a great way to start your day. You put it on. You don't have to, shuffle through the news and all the bad stuff. You're right. We can just talk about the weather, and then and then you're good to go for the day. Especially if you do Krueger's Quickcast. But for those of you that like a lot more detail, we certainly go into that in the deeper dive forecast. So there you go. All right, that is going to do it for us this morning. What do you say we wrap up the show? It's a quick one today. We'll be talking about chances for more rain, though, for tomorrow. And, of course, be sure to check in throughout the day. I'll be there for your noon update, your evening update, and I'll be right back here again tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger. Until then, have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.